Satsang-30. Know who you are. 2nd December 1934. Evening Satsang. One should first know, who am I? This is easy if there is total inward renunciation. The true I is Brahman, and then Brahman alone is. However, first there should be renunciation of objects. If we do not know the self, we only live as individuals, as jivas. We should get up in the morning very nicely. What does that mean? If at the time you wake up, you tell yourself that you are Brahman, you become Brahman, absolute pure consciousness. We should wake up as a king and live like a king. If you wake up with a feeling of being a beggar, then you will continue begging. One behaves according to the attitude and feeling one adopts. We are the knowingness itself, and therefore we become a king or a soldier in no time. We ourselves decide what we want to become. Work is always going on for millions of years. It will never be complete. We will never say that it is enough. The feelings of my wife and my children are the riches of the individual. The riches of God are such that there is no need for anything. Adopt the attitude that nobody belongs to me. I am the self alone. The goddess of the jiva is actually the eclipse of misfortune. The power of Shiva is the goddess of liberation. Now, whom to wed is in your hands. You may choose whom you wish. Hunger, thirst, desire, and anger may be with you for hundreds of thousands of births. You will get that which you choose, individuality or liberation, jiva or Shiva. It is difficult at the beginning to aspire for the state of Brahman, but it becomes easier afterwards. You should learn to educate your mind, to purify it, and be your own guru, your own master. Day and night, reflect on Brahman and meditate as the pure absolute consciousness. The mind must be helpful. When the mind has a habit, it is doing the same thing again and again. Once there is the attitude or state that one is the all-pervading Brahman, the mind becomes purified, reposed in the self. The purified mind becomes the guru, and then you will have no difficulty at all. Realize that the devotee himself is God. The individual is Brahman and nothing else. However, as soon as there is attachment to objects, you become the individual, the jiva. When the attachment to objects ends, you are Brahman. When you begin to demand something, you become smaller and smaller. One who has no desire is great. To clap is dependent on two hands, and unless the two meet, there is no clapping. What has priority? The attachment to objects or the awareness of reality? One must meditate on this. Inquire along the lines that objects are unreal, and detachment from objects is itself awakening to reality. Reflect deeply on this. The disciple asks, "For how many days should this be done?" The answer is, just do it to such an extent that reality is not forgotten. Atman should never be forgotten. That is all. There is no separate I. There is only freedom. You can be free only because you are already free. You should feel that you are free because you are not bound. If you go to the root of God and the devotee, duality disappears. Everything is one. If essentially everything in the world is made of earth, what separation is there? Then who is this I? There exists only the 5 elements and the one self. That is your existential reality. The 5 elements and you. And this means that you yourself are the entire universe. The one Param Atman, the Supreme Self, is separate from all that is seen. And one who is united with that will not remain separate. The principle that is established as soon as self-surrender happens is itself undivided devotion, or final liberation, Sayuja Mukti. That which is gained in the illusion is like a small harvest of corn. The small crop bears a small amount of corn. But the feeling that I am Brahman, Eham Brahmasmi, is the immortal harvest of the corn of Brahman. Now the corn is of the freedom of liberation. The clay lion knows that it is nothing but clay. Similarly, everywhere there is only Brahman. And if there is no individual, there is no illusion. As the river does not keep its identity once it is merged into the sea, likewise, when a devotee merges into God, he does not remain separate. Once the devotee becomes God, he does not exist as a separate devotee any longer. One who is aware of the unity of the devotee and God realizes Brahman. Know that you are Brahman, and you will live full of glory as the all-powerful Supreme Self. If you fall into the realm of illusion, you will only have the company of anger, attachment, pain, and sorrow, which means that you will not get peace. Therefore, you must live as Brahman.